if you want to understand the pathology that we have with a sect in this country, where to them, money, economics is much more valuable than humanity, than life. You have Dr. Oz, who everybody thought of that. We know it was sort of a little bit of quackery, but the good kind of quackery. But listen to him on with Sean Hannity. It makes no sense, but I want you to see it and we'll talk about it on the other side.
Dr. Oz, help us.
Well, first, we need our mojo back. Let's start with things that are really critical to the nation where we think we might be able to open without getting into a lot of trouble. I tell you, schools are a very appetizing opportunity. I just saw a nice piece in the Lancet arguing that the opening of schools may only cost us 2 to 3% in terms of total mortality. And, you know, that's any life is a life lost. But to get every child back into a school where they're safely being educated, being fed, and making the most out of their lives with a theoretical risk on the backside, it might be a trade-off some folks would consider. We need to get industry back, supply lines. I mean, things that we can do without putting the nation at risk.
We need our mojo back. It's appetizing that only 2 or 3% of people will die if we open up schools again. If you were on an airline that has 250 people or 300 people on it, would you be happy that 10 of the between 8 and 10 of those people are going to die for each flight? Will you? I don't think so. The thing about it is, mortality on something like this means something, especially if it's avoidable. That we have to pause a lot of economic activity to minimize the damage is a good thing. In fact, the economy should be subservient to humanity and not the other way around. When you have the Dan Patricks of the world, the lieutenant governor of Texas, who's saying, I am willing to die, I'm willing. Of course he's not, because he's rich and he'll let other people die for him. Or when you have Glenn Beck, who's sitting in the comfort of his office saying, well, I'm in 55 and I'm in the danger zone too, but we should reopen the economy because some of us are willing to sacrifice. No, they're not. They want the average American citizen who works for them, who keeps the plutocracy floated, who makes money for them, whose money. When they talk about being rich, remember that is being rich with your money. That is being rich because that's the excess labor they didn't pay you. That's the excess income. That's the intellect they imparted from you. That's not theirs by osmosis or there by their own intellect. It's theirs using an economic system that favors a few who do little to make it. Let's get that straight. An economic system where capital reigns, an economic system where you can tell your capital to have others die for you. And when that is usurped, when we are in a position where we say, well, you know what? Let's stop working for a while till this thing goes away so that many of us don't die. It hurts their bottom line because they cannot usurp any longer or extract as much as they could from you. And oh, that's painful to them. So let's get back to work. Glenn Beck wants you working. The president wants you working. Dan Patrick wants you working. Dr. Oz wants you working. Because if you're not working, you can't buy his flimsy stuff. If you're not working, the president's hotels are not filled. If you're not working, Dan Patrick's state, all the monies that the lobbyists give him to run the state is a problem. Folks, let's not buy into it. Let's not allow these guys to do what they continue to do. Let's try to remember a little bit about humanity for a second. Hell, let's remember about humanity for a lifetime and get rid of them all. I'm Egberto Willies, host of Politics Done Right, an independent news program. I post several news videos of interest every day. I ask you so kindly to subscribe to my channel and please leave me some comments. Thank you very much.